kids, this is Mr. B back with another lesson for Kids TV Virtual. Today we're going to do a tutorial on iMovie. So some of you don't have Mac or Apple products and you have Windows. I do have another video for Windows. That software is called Shotcut. All right, so iMovie. iMovie is an editing software. If you haven't edited before, think of the edit process like this. You have a puzzle and you have all these pieces. So in the film world, these pieces are the film shots, the shots that you guys were taking in your kitchen, in your house, your room. That's the full film shot. So in the movie world, I don't need that whole film shot. I just need a piece of it. So we're taking a piece of that film shot, like a piece of a puzzle, and we're connecting it with another piece to make the final product, the final image, the final puzzle, the final movie. That's what editing is, guys. Then there's obviously effects and sound and titles and all these other things that you can add to the puzzle to make it the best film ever. So that is editing, and that's kind of what we're going to be doing. But this is a crash course to give you what you need, get you started, get you going. And then as we're doing the virtual classes, we may add in more tips as we teach. But this is just a quick tutorial. So the things that we're going to focus on today is kind of going to be 4 different areas. The first area is going to be setup. So when we get into setup, we're going to be talking about how to open iMovie, how to open a new movie project, or even a new event, which I'll explain that shortly, how to bring in footage, go through the footage. And footage is, when you hear that, those are your film shots, your movie clips, camera clips, guys. After we go through setup, then I'm gonna get into making the edit cut. So that's the actual piece of the shot, the piece of the puzzle that I was just talking about. How do we make that cut happen and bring it down to our area where we create the film, to create the movie in the software. After that, I'm gonna give you some basic shortcuts. These are keys that you can use. You don't need to memorize every key in any editing software, kids. It's too much. But here are just some basic ones we're gonna give you in this video that you can use to do your editing. Then I'm gonna get into the art and the technique of editing, which I'll explain that at the end of the video. Let's jump into it. So the first area that we're getting into is setup. So for setup, guys, I'm going to share my screen so we can get into this. So let's move this over so I'm not in the way. All right, guys, I'm gonna open up iMovie. Before I do that, I'm gonna show you where the footage that I'm gonna use today is gonna be in this folder called footage and movie clips. When you edit, you guys should know exactly where your movie and your edit files are. And so that gets into, it's part of setup because it's being organized. So whatever you shoot and film, I suggest you guys create a folder and put everything in there. If you haven't created a folder before, quickly, in Apple, Mac, just go to your Finder. Finder is this big square kind of blue face down here. Click on File, click on New Folder. It's not highlighted because I'm kind of in the middle of this thing right now, but it would be bold, so you can select New Folder. All right, that was that. All right, so now iMovie. iMovie is this star down here, and usually it's already on your computer if you have it. If you didn't have it and you had to download it, click back on Finder and it's in your applications. So that's Finder. Down here, you see the cursor. I clicked on that and I'm going to Applications. And that's where you'll find your iMovie. And you literally can just drag that down here. Like if I took it and dragged it down, it would make a new star. We don't need to do it because it's already here. So that's just a quick first step in having iMovie ready to open. Either one of these you can click on. Since I'm gonna close that out. I already have my iMovie star on the dock. I'm gonna double click, have it open up. And as I said, this is only the first part. This is just set up. So guys, now let's take a look here. Let's say I had other projects and footage open. The thing with iMovie, guys, as I said, it's a free software, so there's going to be some things you kind of have to work with. it houses all of the footage that you ever had. If you're creating a new movie, you see all of that footage. We don't want to do that. So if you have projects that's already open, what I want you to do is, and you're bringing in new footage, let's create a new event. It's called a new event. Go to File and go to New Event. New event is pretty much opening up a whole new area where footage will be housed. And so as you're making movies, you have all the footage for that stuff there. The movie will be the actual, project or video that you're going to be editing. So this right here is 9/8/21, because I already had one down here. This is a new event right here, 9/8/21. That's my new one. This is the old one. I'm gonna click on that. So you see, this whole thing is empty. I don't see any footage. I don't see anything. Now, I want to make a new movie. This is the actual video that you're creating. The event was just the new area, so you're not seeing any old footage. Now it's the movie. These are themes. We have an old computer, so you're not seeing all this stuff. I want you to click No Theme. No Theme. A theme is kind of like, it's already templates and videos that iMovie says you can use this and have this in your movie. We're not using in that. You guys are creating from scratch. So just click No Theme and hit Create. I'm going to name this. I'm going to name this Practice iMovie. And hit OK. So now, let's bring me down. So now this is my event. And this is my movie. As I said, the event allows me to, I won't see other footage. And the movie, this is the actual video that I'm creating right here. This is Practice iMovie. All right, so we're almost done with setup. Now, I'm missing one thing, guys. Footage. Let's do that. When you see import media means footage. Import means to bring in, and media is your footage, your film clips that you're doing. So one thing about any edit software, there's usually multiple ways to do one step, guys. So if I have import media footage, you see this little down arrow. You see this down arrow up here. They're the same thing. So if for some reason you already had clips here and you couldn't see this import media icon, you have import up here. Also, you have file. So file and import media. So those are just three different ways to bring in footage. I'm gonna click on the big one here. It's gonna bring up a search screen so I can go to the footage. I know it's in the desktop because I created a folder for it, and it's right here. It's footage and movie clips. I click the down arrow and it shows me what's in the folder. I wanna bring in these clips called Pie in the Face. I could bring in the whole folder, or I can bring in individual clips. I can highlight, I can hold down Shift and hit the arrow key. And so that's highlighting, holding down Shift and hitting the arrow key. I'm gonna bring in the whole folder though, so let me just hit Input Selected, Import Selected. This is 9/8/21. And here are my new clips to my video, my movie. Let's move this over here for now. Okay, so guys, almost done with part one. If you click on this clip, or even not even click on, just click on it. And if we hit the play over here, wow, voila, it's playing the clip. I'm gonna speed it up. I know nothing's really happening here. So this is a scene in a movie we did in a summer camp where this teacher is kind of doing all these mean things to the student. He's having a dream that he's getting hit in the face with a pie by a clown. So now, what I want you to know here is, before we move to the next section, guys, is this iMovie, you're looking at really three different screens. Don't worry about this column box. This screen right here, this is your first screen. This is where your footage is, and it's telling you details of what project you're in. So think about this as your footage details. If you bring your footage or your film clips in, this is where they are. Over here is your preview screen. So this is where you preview. So if you're playing this, this is gonna show you, this screen shows you what's really happening. Same way down here, guys, I'm gonna drag a whole clip down. I'm gonna click on a whole clip up. No, I couldn't. Yeah, that's good enough. I'll explain that in a second. Now, down here, I just brought down an edit cut, which I'm about to go over that in the next section. And you see the preview screen is playing what I have down here. So guys, this down section, and that's called Practice 02. This is where the actual video or movie is being created. I'm gonna repeat that. This is where your puzzle is being created, your movie. If this stuff is empty, if you mess up down here, that's what's gonna be in your film, guys. And if you play it down here, the preview is up here. You see it just stopped, that's all it is. Okay, with that said, I'm gonna delete. I just highlighted it. When you see a yellow box around something, that means it's highlighted. You see that yellow box? I'm going to hit the delete button, and we're moving to section 2. So that was your first section setup.